you need a small playlist, no, I need a big playlist. The Macy's. I sound like saying things word for word every day. Sometimes we wonder if we're watching a VOD. I think it's been really cool to see how many people there, higher up than expected, actually do think like us, including those in media who've just been sidelined by the administration. The administration has inevitably come from old age. Okay, you have to also remember something. I keep telling you guys all the time. I keep telling y'all all the time that like I have friends in media. You know I have friends in media. I have like-minded individuals that are wonderful. They're brilliant. They do phenomenal work in investigative reporting. And I tell you all the time that there's probably staffers out there that watch as well. You know, they're a little limited by their, by I guess, you know, what their career looks like and what their bosses want to do. Okay. Yeah, and Pink was right behind you too. An epic fail. You didn't turn around. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Mother Jones or only DNC news? Sorry if annoying. Wait, Mother Jones question mark? Sorry if annoying, genuine question. What do you mean Mother Jones question mark or only DNC news? What does that even mean? Dude, when I'm streaming and I don't have chat because I'm like conducting interviews, it's an entirely different experience for me. Okay? The moment I fucking sit down, on this broadcast and I have unlimited access to chatters chirping at me, it's just crazy. All of a sudden, like, the level of professionalism perishes, okay? In a mere moment, it completely falls apart. So, there's a video by Mother Jones about Black conservatives. Definitely not a today thing. Oh, yeah, I know the dude who made it. He literally told me to watch it on stream. Now I'm thinking that he's in the chat saying it. What kind of laptop are you using? Does it get super hot? It's a Lenovo. I don't know. It has a i9 and a 4090 laptop. Not most def. Definitely not most def. The uncommitted speaker was going to endorse Kamala Harris at the end of her speech. What is the calculus by the DNC to reject her? Scared of her going off script? Yes. And also that. It's because they understand. Okay, let me explain something to you. It's because they personally understand that what they are doing, what they are committing to is truly inhumane, okay? The Democratic Party's contributions to the Palestinian plight is so goddamn openly inhumane that they are fearful that even if there is a Palestinian who is willing and able to endorse them, they still can't trust it because they know how fucked up that shit is, okay? Israeli travel guy made a response video about you. Yeah, I don't give a fuck, dog. Get out of here. I heard there's a possibility that they reverse that decision. Chance of that actually happening? I don't know, but I did see some positives. I saw that the UAW tweeted out something in support. AOC came out in support of it as well, and many other Democrats and those who are inside of the Democratic Party's infrastructure were in support of this decision as well. It makes sense. It makes sense because it makes it's ridiculous not to fucking do this thing. It's ridiculous not to do this fucking thing. You know what I mean? Rokana did, yeah. Mini Kaling's transfer himself got like 3 speech slots. They have to give a Palestinian mic. Bro, they had a border patrol guy who fucking came out and spoke, okay? They had a border patrol guy. They had a fucking billionaire Amex guy. What are you kidding me? The fuck? It's completely ridiculous. Anyway, we're going to talk about the uncommitted campaign a little bit further. New from Prem. The uncommitted campaign is setting a 6 p.m. deadline, urging the DNC to allow a Palestinian voice to be heard on stage. Comes as scores of members of Congress, advocacy groups, Biden admin resignees, and even actors like Mark Ruffalo join the call. Hasanabi waiting room, thank you for the 10 tier 1 gift to subs. What do you think about AOC saying, people saying AOC's only coming out in support to save face after endorsing Biden? I don't think she's being disingenuous, but a lot of people on social media seem to think so. Yeah, they're on social media, dog. I don't care. That's it. Like, I you know, like, yeah, I don't care that people in Hoscord or I don't care that people on social media are like AOC's fake, she's phony. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? You're not pushing, you're not moving the needle in that direction. Okay? Juice for Kamala wants them to speak. Families of Israeli hostages are joining the demand for the Palestinians not to be barred from the DNC stage. Both groups demanding a ceasefire and a deal to return the captives. Okay, there you go, dude. There you fucking go. Here is Alana Zaitchik says, Rachel and John deserved every second on that stage. I also believe Palestinian American voices deserve to be heard on that stage. I'd love to hear from Rua for Georgia, and I hope the DNC will give her the chance to be heard. So Rua, Representative Rua Roman, is a Georgia state representative. She's Palestinian, and she has a speech. She has a speech that she vetted by the DNC, as far as I understand. The Uncommitted Campaign basically put forward a bunch of Palestinian Americans that are inside of the Democratic Party. Like, these aren't outsiders, okay? These are people who have literally committed their entire fucking lives to working within the Democratic Party machine. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, these are not, black bloc anarchists or whatever the fuck, okay? These are just people who are Democrats, who happen to be Palestinian. These are people who are Democrats, who happen to be Muslim. These are people who are Democrats who happen to be Arab, okay? And it's kind of nutty that the Democratic Party is so openly snubbing them, okay? Like, these are the most conciliatory people to the Democratic Party, the party that is currently actively bombing their family members. The speaker conversation is a good microcosm on how the campaign will respond to multifaceted pressure in regards to Palestine. If they fumble this, it would be insanely sad. I agree. Okay? They're turning on Ilhan too. Twitter leftists are so useless. Yeah, I don't care, dude. I don't care. Okay? I don't. Please stop bringing up random irrelevant shit, okay? After I talk to Ilhan Omar or AOC, I'm sure there will be so many fucking viral tweets about how I have sold out to the Zionist lobby alongside AOC, alongside Ilhan Omar, which is even more laughable than fucking AOC, okay? And they'll go crazy hard on Twitter, okay? But the reality is they will stay on fucking Twitter, okay? It is a cesspit of some of the deepest forms of radicalization. Now, having said that, I also understand why people have this opinion about AOC, okay? I get it. I mean, if you're talking about Ilhan Omar, that's ridiculous. But I understand why people are like, oh, AOC, she's like, is she phony? We have been hurt before, okay? Obama is a great example of someone who presented himself as a champion of progress, okay? As a progressive warrior. And then when it actually came down to putting in the work, he nullified the progressive momentum in this country, okay? People are worried that AOC is going to be a repeat of that. People are also understandably upset in terms of like the way AOC is communicated on this issue, okay? It's effing like after every fourth word, bro. Dog, you are the only person that said that. Like, literally not a single person has brought that up in the chat. I feel like if it was effing after every fourth word, it would be, chat would go crazy over that. Like, no disrespect to you, sir, but I feel like you're just, it's a you problem. All right, make sure your brother's not downloading porn, But yeah, as I was saying, there are plenty of Palestinians here in Palestine who hate all Democrats, rightly so. It's not just the tweets. People are echoing their sentiment. Dude, I know, okay? I know. I talk to Palestinians. I'm aware. Wait, oh shit, March. I think it went down more, I think. Because now it's showing the laptop. Yeah, and I pushed the laptop up a little bit too. So put it up even higher, I think. Okay. No, you can angle it down more. It's fine. I mean, you can lower it, sorry. Because there's too... that's good. That's perfect. Anyway. So, the girl with the red highlights you met outside just now, fellow political commentator, she helped evacuate Lama Jamuz and her dad from Gaza. Yeah. There are some on the left like Jimmy Dore and Breonna Joy that hate AOC in the squad ever since the forced to vote shit and look to any chance to criticize her. Yeah, I don't care about that, but there are obviously Palestinians who are very upset with AOC as well. Okay? Because she did go on stage and said, Kamala Harris is working tirelessly for a ceasefire. Okay? And that is an understandable frustration that people have with AOC. Okay? That's not what I'm talking about. When people turn around and they're like, yo, this person is like actually betraying the progressive movement, or she's not doing enough, or when she does do things, you're like, oh, she's only doing it to just, you know, save face. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? Let me tell you something, okay? I'm here. I'm seeing the people that run this machine, okay? Let me tell you, ain't nobody here even remotely gives a single fuck about anything I have to say, about anything you have to say. They're on their own planet, okay? This is an entirely separate universe. Do you understand? For AOC, anytime she says Israel's doing a genocide, I'm like, that's crazy. Now that I've actually seen this room, I understand it extra. I understand the severity of a statement like that, especially when you have such a high profile like that in general, okay? 100%. Like, these guys are so completely and utterly out of whack, okay? So completely and utterly out of whack with normal people and what is going on in the real world, okay? See, is worse than this. Yeah, at least there's like delegates and shit from all around the country here. But overall, like, the party machine players in here, they don't know what the fuck's going on, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on because I'm in here. Like, it's crazy. I get it. Like, it's like hard to keep up with the world. There's so much, like, there's so much insulation. I totally understand how the media just misses the mark on a regular basis now that I've been here, okay? And I'm doing my very best to, you know, keep an ear to the street. Like, it's wild to, it's comprehensible. I don't know how else I can describe it to you, okay? They beat that lady for holding the Stop Genocide sign. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking insane in here, dude. That's what I mean. Like, they were hating her with a "We Love Joe" fucking sign in here. Those are like delegates and shit, okay? So, do you see the people from the DNC leaving and mocking Palestinian protesters? Yes, I did. So I want to start off with that, actually. I want to start off with that conversation, okay? So let's go there. Now, we covered the, obviously, the uncommitted movement, who are all, obviously, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this, bro? Twitch users not allowed to speak up? Up to 2,500 compensation? If you have a Twitch.tv account, purchase a subscription to a streamer. They're calling it the least frivolous class action lawsuit of all time. You've been seeing these ads? What the fuck? Bro, they're going to do a class action lawsuit because I'm banning too many chatters. I banned so many chatters. I banned so many fucking chatters that they literally... March, this thing fell again, dude. What are we going to do? It just doesn't hold. I guess we just keep it that way. Is there a way to tighten it? It's too heavy. You can ban me. I'm not chatting. I'm traveling. You can't ban me, yeah. It's not going to hold, I don't think. Why? What did you change something? Okay. Oh, yeah. In their booth. Oh, yeah. No. I think 6:30. Will we have enough time? Wait, hold on. Tell him, like, it depends on the interviews. Like, if we have time, I'll do the NBC interview. We'll roam. I said, like, I'm gonna mic myself up and do the NBC interview on the roamer. But, bro, this is, like, actually crazy. This is so crazy. Okay. There's so much happening. Holy shit. Oh, here's someone outside the DNC barking at randos. Okay, shut the fuck up, dude. I saw this. I mean, I didn't see this. I lived it. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Hey, I love the hat. You know I wasn't the... Yeah, he said, hey, man, how about you protest with us? There was a pro-Palestinian protester outside the DNC when we were walking out to go to the Chapo show, okay? And he said, hey, man, how about you protest with us instead of being inside selling out, okay? Protest, yeah. So I responded to him. I said, he's right. Shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't be maxing out my influence here by directly telling American politicians that Israel is committing a genocide. And instead I should be yelling at random fucking DNC staffers that are walking out. What they're doing is meaningful. What they're doing is correct. But if you don't understand what I'm doing in here for the same exact fucking cause, like interviewing the uncommitted movement this morning, okay? you're just a fucking idiot, okay? Shut the fuck up. Anyway, you and March on Fox News? Oh, yes. March, we made it to Fox News, bro. Let's go. We need more leftist infighting? Yeah, I know. Anyway, the point I was going to make is he said you sold out, right? Like, you're in there, which just like that other fucking dumbass chatter. So, obviously, I'm not going to fucking sit here and take it. Yesterday, right? I say, you know, I was at the protest yesterday, right? Like, I was at the protest 1 day ago, brother. Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say? I think he says something along the lines of like, you know, you're a sellout. You're a sellout. Something like that. Wait, I'm 1 day ago, brother. Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say? Get out of here? You think I'm your fucking enemy? You think I am against Palestinian emancipation? Honestly, get the fuck out of here. Fucking he said, honestly, no. As soon as I walked up. Child. What do you mean, honestly, no? Why are you chirping at me then?
Don't call me a fucking child.
Because you're being a fucking child. Be an adult. Think clearly. Ass. Oh, he does. And I agree with him. And I agree with him. So why the fuck's he yelling at me? Hey, what's up? Sure.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
Have a good one. The other guy said he has free speech. I say, yeah. Yeah, that's another protester, by the way. That's another pro-Palestinian protester. Isn't that the same guy at the restaurant the other day? Well, I don't know. But here's the point, okay? Here's the point I want to make. Now, that was an impassionate moment, okay? That was a passionate moment, and I reacted in the worst way possible, okay? Because guess what, dude? Guess what? That guy right there, okay, he's doing something that I myself do, and I want all of you to do as well. That's it. Like, he's out there standing, putting his fucking body out there, putting his body on the line, putting his life on the line, putting his career prospects on the line, and he is outside of the Democratic National Convention yelling at those who are unwilling to hear the very reasonable demands people are making. Ceasefire. No more weapons transfers to Israel. Like, these are incredibly reasonable demands, okay? And he's doing the right thing, you know what I mean? Like, him yelling at me is stupid, but who gives a fuck? I should have more discipline. And you guys should not make fun of him either, okay? Because at the end of the day, he's doing something that I want all of you to do, which is go out there and fucking protest, you know? You assumed he knew who you were? No, he did. He did know. No, that's the annoying part. No, I'm pretty sure he knew who I was. That's why he was saying you're selling out. If it was like a random fucking person who had no idea who I was and thought I was a DNC staffer or something, he can't call you a sellout without knowing and also say you're not the enemy. No, I said that. I said, am I your enemy? He didn't say that. Okay. No, your reaction was fine. Free speech works both ways. Should have hit him with a take a week off. Okay, everybody needs to calm down. Yeah, he knew who I was because I said, do you think I'm your enemy? He said, honestly, no. Against Palestinian emancipation? Honestly, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, like, I'm not going to fucking sit here and chirp about a dude who literally took the time out of his day and got his girlfriend to go and fucking sit outside, park his ass outside the goddamn DNC to chirp at people who are leaving the fucking DNC, okay? That is, he's doing the right thing, okay? He's applying pressure. Disciplining Records is good. If he's serious about advocating for the left, he will grow and mature from it. Records are poison the movements. Your initial instincts were correct. I know. But I think he could have been handled in a better way, and I'm not going to fucking yell at him that much, okay? But anyway, speaking of those protesters, okay? Speaking of those protesters, they also were actively reading out all of the child victims of Israel's genocide to the people who were excited at the prospect of, you know, attending the DNC's third night. And let me tell you, I think those people should hear it. I think I should hear it too. I don't have an issue with that. It's obviously when someone says, bro, you're selling out. It's the same principle behind like yelling at fucking Ilhan Omar. You know what I mean? Yelling at like the uncommitted delegates, like they sold out, they're inside, they still want to reason with the Democratic Party. It's like, no, dude. Okay, every successful civil rights movement has always had multiple prongs, multiple different approaches. There's an MLK side to it. There's a Malcolm X side to it, okay? You can't be yelling at people who are trying to move the needle in the right direction. You can't be yelling at people and chirping at people on Twitter when their job is like when they're trying to use to the best of their ability with what they have, right? To advance this struggle, to speak on Palestinian emancipation. You can't be fucking chirping at those people for doing that, okay? Every single person has a unique set of skills, right? I serve a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. That's my skill. That's the only thing I have. I don't have anything else, right? And I tell you, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, right? For $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime. If you no longer want to see those ads, that's what you got to do. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. But like, it's kind of similar to people in the chat being like, bro, I can't believe you sold out to the DNC. You're in there, you're being a shill, right? Like, why aren't you out there protesting? It's no different than when people say, Hassan, if you're such a fucking socialist, why don't you literally like stop what you're doing, right? Why don't you stop what you're doing, what you've done so far, and instead of like being an advocate, instead of having this platform, like go fucking start a co-op, which I did, but you know, for a podcast, so it's different. Like, why don't you go do that? And obviously, this is my skill set. This is what I'm good at. So I'm using what I'm good at to literally fucking advance these causes that I care about. Okay? That's how it works. But ultimately, you should never break solidarity. That's the way I think about it. That's what I believe. Okay? As long as people are genuinely putting the effort. I think it's so stupid to just it's so stupid to turn around and criticize one another over like aesthetic choices. Iman Abdel Hadi, assistant professor, sociologist, columnist in the Indies Times Mags, says successful movements have radical, progressive, and moderate flanks. We need people working inside the Democratic Party, and we need grassroots organizers, and we need protesters. Find your position and play it. But don't fight your teammates because they play a different position. You know? Some people play defense, some people play offense, someone is the goalie. You know what I mean? Imagine the goalie's like, I'm not a striker. I don't get all the fucking glory. Fuck this guy. That's what it feels like sometimes. The way people react. You know? It's silly. And I think that at times it comes... Like, it's hard it's hard, especially when things seem so impossible, right? When change seems so impossible. I think people generate like a level of nihilistic sentiment, or they become more hardened in their positions and they just start saying like, oh, you're bad, you're not doing things in the way that I would want you to do things. Okay? Not looking to recognize, right? Not looking to recognize that like everyone plays a different role. So yeah, it's something to remember. This is a good take. So how will Kamala Harris and the Democrats keep saying they support a so-called two-state solution to forever bring peace if they can't even support a two-state stage for 5 minutes at the DNC? But yeah, as soon as I thought about my reaction to him, I was like, this guy's out there. He's obviously passionate. You know, he's in the wrong. I'm not gonna say that he was doing the right thing. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, no, he was so on the money. I'm a fucking... Oh, AOC's supposed to come on right now? All right, hold on. Oh, they moved it to 6 to 6:30. Yeah, I'm putting my manager. Hold on, I gotta add him onto this. I've added David. When's the Sean Fain interview? Later. I don't know when it's supposed to be. Let me see. I'm using H Bizzle as an envoy to some other people. Shit. Apparently Joe Rogan is more reliable than you. What is this? Hold on. The new media bias thing came out. Is this for real? Wait, what? There's no way, dude. There is no fucking way. Contains misleading info. You want to know something that Donnie told me? Donnie fucking reached out to the Poynter Institute guy who called me a misinformer on the New York Times. Okay, I think this list is from them. Okay, I don't know if it's not. Or Donnie reached out to him. And he asked the question, so what's up? Like you said, this Hasanabi fellow is a misinformer. You said that on the New York Times. And he reached out to the fucking Poynter Institute guy, okay, who made that statement on the New York Times. And you know what he said? Nothing. He was like, do you have any moments? Like, do you have any evidence to back this up? He was like, no, I just kind of put it out there. That's what he fucking said. That is what he said. How fucking crazy is that? Oh, am I yelling too much? No, she just came out. Sorry. How fucking nuts is that, bro? How fucking nuts is that? This motherfucker went on the New York Times and be like, yo, Hassan fucking lies just like the right-wingers do. You know, he lies like the best of them. How crazy. So he's the fucking misinfo guy, it turns out. About to lose those bathroom privileges again? I know. Bro, I'm lower ranked than fucking Fox News, bro. I'm lower ranked than Joe Rogan. What is this? What is this media bias chart, bro? I mean, nobody cares about this shit, so it doesn't really matter, but it is pretty funny that the first time I'm actually mentioned on the media bias chart, they put me below selective, incomplete, unfair persuasion, propaganda, or other issues, okay? And on the right, I'm under Joe Rogan, like Joe Rogan, Red Scare Podcast, Ben Shapiro, The Ingram Angle, Project Veritas. Project Veritas. I am the equivalent of InfoWars. We're clear? Okay. Like, this has got to be a fucking DGG guy who wrote this list, I assume, to just be like, oh, he's the... Oh, you're getting food? Wait, can you get me food too? Can you bring something back for me? Please. Please, some fucking Pepsi Zeros and waters and food, please. I'm dying. I'm suffering. I'm starving. Dog, I'm lower than Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and all of the, like, National Review, Newsmax, OAN. I'm lower than OAN. What the fuck? Bro, they're so crazy. Breitbart is here? New York Post and Breitbart are here? Okay, throw this fucking... Come on, dog. Throw this list in the fucking trash. What the fuck? This is the word. This list is a trash list. The bias chart seems to have a bias. We need a media bias chart for the media bias charts. Bro, your editors fact check you so hard, like harder than Jamie to Joe? Yeah. Like, genuinely curious how exactly are you less credible than the MSM source that you react to daily? Surely that just makes them inaccurate and misleading then? Yeah, letter to the editor. What Pointer's critique misses about the media bias chart? At Fontes Media responds to a critique that highlights misunderstandings of the framework behind the media bias chart. Oh, it is them. It is them. Is this the actual list? Give me the actual. Am I actually on the list, or is that like a fucking fake one? Because this doesn't make any goddamn sense, bro. There's no shot. There's no fucking shot. Yeah, I'm not on the list, bro. Look. Oh, I am. I am on the list. I see. Oh my God, I am on the list. It's real. You can't tell from over here, but like I'm literally right there. These people are on crack, bro. Epoch Times. Breitbart is above Pod Save America. So wait, who is like an actual left-wing, like hyper-partisan left, strong left, skews left? So like me and Chapo are on the most left you can be, right? Revolutionary Left Radio is the most extreme left. Where's Democracy Now! On this? I think it's crazy that they put me below, like they're saying like InfoWars, OAN, and Hasanabi, like two sides of the same coin. I'm sorry, dude. If you consider to me, honest to God, I don't think any singular human being legitimately believes this, okay? Let me just say this. I don't think a person actually unironically goes like, Hassan, you are basically like the left-wing equivalent of Alex Jones. Like, I know that like Destiny's Community tries to say that all the time, which is kind of funny because I'm literally at the fucking DNC right now, and I have interviewed journalists and politicians who have openly been like, I'm a fan of you and I love what you're doing. So I think that like puts it into perspective a little bit when you see so many fucking journalists come up and be like, yeah, I love your work. Maybe that puts it into a little bit of a different framework for a lot of fucking desperate losers online who constantly are like, yo, you're the same as Alex Jones. But like, still, regardless of that equation, okay, the fact that like someone would be like, oh bro, you're the Alex Jones of the left, like, dude, this guy got a $1 billion fucking like defamation suit for directly contributing to the plight of Sandy Hook school shooting victim families. Like, what are you saying? If you can find anything that is like, if you can find anything, and I'm being really genuine right now, if you can find anything that is even remotely like anything that is one tenth as bad as that I have done, hats off to you. 1/10, which would not put me under Alex Jones or under Breitbart. Okay. Anyway, ultimately it doesn't really matter because, like I said, this is just like something that people love posting about on Twitter, but that's it. Okay, that's it. Who is the LeBron James is streaming? I am. What is this? Israel ranks #1 new list of non-apartheid countries that are fun to visit. Caucasians all over the world has voted Israel as #1 non-apartheid country to visit this summer. Anyway, it's like an Onion article, dude. It's not real, by the way. That's a meme. Do you have thoughts on such like ground sort articles by bias? Ground news seems fine. I don't really know anything about ground news in general. I've like never worked with them. I know they sponsor a lot of people, but this is my ground news. You know what I mean? Like I literally have the media bias machine inside of my mind. Okay. A majority of the guys that claim you're the Ben Shapiro equivalent are typically apolitical, centrist leaning. I've had leftist friends who've said the same about you. A lot of these guys aren't really aware of what you actually do, which is odd on why they seem to have such a deep resentment yet lack any actual attachment to your content. They've watched a drama farming channel YouTube video that got like 1 million views. That's it. Like most people are busy, chat. Most people have their lives that they worry about, you know? They're not gonna fucking take the time out of their goddamn days to be like, I wonder if this like random fucking dickhead Twitch streamer is actually a good guy or not. No, they just see a fucking random YouTube video and they make up their minds about it. And most of the time they can't even remember why they fucking hate me. Okay? But they still just carry that resentment and that's it. You understand me? That's it. That's how most people operate. You have to remember that. The faster you acknowledge that, the easier this is. You know what I mean? Most people that have this kind of attitude towards me have probably never actually consumed my content at all, have only consumed it from the vector of someone, consumed it from the lens of someone else who hates me. And that's it. And I don't fault them for like actually thinking that, I don't fault them for actually developing these opinions, you know? I do hope that one day they can be charitable and that's the only thing I can say, you know what I mean? Bias doesn't necessarily mean misinfo. No, that chart is very horseshoe theory, even looks like one. No, that chart says I do misinformation, like regularly. Chatter found where you walk through the Fox News link.
That drove a lot of people into the poorhouse.
Oh, shit. How the fuck do you go full screen? Picture in picture. No, I want full screen, man.
An
whatever.
Economy that is still sputtering for people who are trying to put food on the table. And here's what a New York Times Siena poll found about whether or not folks think that the country's on the right track or the wrong track. And you know how important this number is. 60% of people say the country is on the wrong track after 3.5 years of the Harris-Biden administration. And a new Fox News poll, 73% of people describe the economy as only fair or poor. So how does that in any way play in her favor?
Look, she's been very clear that there's work to be done here. But if you look at some of the big numbers, at unemployment, which is incredibly low, at manufacturing jobs, which are coming back in record ways for the first time in 40 years, the stock market where people...
The hand up, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, it's Fox News. It's like goddamn tourist. That's so funny, bro. That's crazy.
Employment, which is incredibly low, at manufacturing jobs, which are coming back in record ways for the first time in 40 years.
I'm really new follower, so wasn't sure about you at first. When I Googled you, I saw people saying that you were advocating for the death of Israeli children. After watching you, you obviously don't want anyone to get hurt. I think they just didn't understand your sarcasm or being willfully bad faith. No, they're being willfully bad faith, chatter. Like, no, I have a lot of... Look, everybody understands politics, okay? Politics obviously draws a lot of fucking feelings from people. A lot of passion from people. It invokes a lot of passion. And when people get really passionate when they disagree with me, they don't necessarily care to... They don't really necessarily care to be honest about it. They just want to smear. It's much easier to smear than it is to actually address coherent points that someone is making. Okay? What is this?
All right. Thank you so much for coming down here.
Okay. What's up?
Yep. All right. Thank you so much for coming down here.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm okay. I'm okay. Nothing. I just like, Chad is making fun of me for my autism. Chad is making fun of me for my autism. And just like, yeah, no, it's fine. No, it's fine.
That's not what we do here.
No, I know. It's fine. They're mean. They're bullies. Wait, what happened? I didn't even hear him, dude. I didn't hear him at all. That's the worst I've ever been. That is the worst I've ever been in my life. He said, thank you so much for coming out here.
You have to go.
Yep. All right.
Oh, because at that point I was okay. Dude, my mind was racing 1,000,000 miles a second. Okay? That's because we were late to the fucking interview. The studio space had opened up. We were late to the goddamn interview, and I was rushing. I wasn't even thinking. The look of dejection on his face, Lamau, it's clear you didn't really hear him, though. Yeah. I obviously didn't hear him. Why would I do that? It's really been amazing content having you run around trying to get to places on time, not gonna lie. Oh, that's so sad. That's so fucked up, dude. I'm such an asshole. What is this? Oprah or Hassan Pike or DNC test the values of celebrities versus influencers. As young people's attention shift away from the silver screen, there are some celebrities that have so much power they persuade and motivate younger voters. The art of political influence. For example, more than 200 social media influencers and content creators were given credentialed access to the DNC and got FaceTime with some of the highest ranking speakers there. This includes Twitch celebrity Hassan Piker interviewing Senator Ed Markey in his live stream, and 13-year-old Noah de Barrazo accosting fellow political influencer Charlie Kirk in a now viral X clip. Chicago content creator Joshua Joseph says overall the strategy of working with influencers has far more likelihood of enticing young voters. I think you're the future. I think you are the future, and the rest of the world is going to realize it in 20 more years, and it will be too late, Mackey said in his interview with Piker. Anyway, there are risks to this strategy. Yeah, Trump is the reason why I think a lot of people are like locked in on this stuff, because he's just like, did the interview get canceled? No, it got pushed back. What young voter cares about Oprah? I mean, dude, there's a lot of people that care about Oprah. Are you fucking crazy? The hell are you talking about? Anyway, this is the other part of the protesters that I was going to talk about here. Like, people that are leaving the DNC, just like making faces. These are all, none under the age of 35. What? Oh, you're talking about Oprah still. These are all the people under the age of 18 that were murdered by Israel that they were reading out the names of.
Say it again. Say it again. Mock them again. Mock the children again. Do it again. Do it again.
18 years old! 18 years old!
That guy is such a fucking dickhead, dude. Fuck that guy. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's crazy. That one is like, I mean, all of these guys are demons, but like that, especially that dude. Oh my God, dude. Like, are you fucking for real?
Again. Mock them again. Mock the children again. Do it again. Do it again.
Like, he thought that was, bro, he thought that was good. Like, he thought that was like a normal thing to do. She did the meme. I know. All the libbers on Reddit were like, it's because they were too loud with a megaphone. He's a Christian singer. Ugh. He didn't just cover his ears. He actively mocked the death of children. I know. It's so fucking... Yeah, bro. People need to just shut the fuck up, right? People just need to shut the fuck up, right? They just like... They shouldn't bring this up at all. That's what you're saying. When you say things like, oh, they're too loud. It's like, okay, what are they supposed to do? What are people supposed to do? Is there anybody? Yeah, Muslim Women for Harris have pulled support over the Palestinian DNC speaker controversy. I think it's Jews for Harris, or is it Jewish Women for Harris, or Jews for Harris have also put out a statement demanding that a Palestinian American speak. Like, these are vetted speakers, by the way. These are vetted fucking speakers, okay? These are not like random people. These are people that are working in the Democratic Party. These are people that have worked in the Democratic Party their whole lives. It's so fucked up. He's a delegate from Chicago too. That's insane. I can't believe he did that. Can't wait for people to blame the voters for a monumental fuck up. That's all good.
Good news, I brought you chicken tenders.
Yes. Oh my God, I have chicken tendies, chat. March, you're a fucking hero, dude. You're a goddamn hero. What is this? Oh. Bro, you should, wait, oh, you want the chicken sauce? But there's only, I mean, you could take this. I'm not gonna use all of it. Shut up, bitch. Let me tell you something, okay? This man, they gave us a free meal voucher. The DNC gave us a free meal voucher, and I was like, no, we're not taking that. And March was like, why? I'm hungry. I'm like, March, you're fucking rich. Like, why would you take the meal voucher that like some intern is gonna be using? Like, why would you, like, we can buy our own food. And he went, oh yeah, you're right. Like, he forgot. Insane. You're rich.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm richer than he is, but it's not like he's broke. What the fuck's wrong with you, chat? Y'all pay his salary. What do you mean?
Lies. Fake news.
Oh, here's another one. He's more drip than me every day, bro. Every damn day. Yeah, rich people stay rich by eating free food. That's why I'm gonna go broke. Anyway, I want to watch the Tim Walz speech that I haven't watched. There's a bunch of stuff I want to watch. I want to watch Trump on Theo Vaughn if I have time. Hopefully I'll be able to eat a little bit in peace as well.
Let's turn our attention to the Middle East now. During a phone call with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Biden stressed the urgent need to reach a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza. The White House said they also discussed US efforts to support Israel's defense against what it called all threats from Iran and proxy terrorist groups, including Hamas. Let's speak to my colleague Syed Shahata from BBC Arabic, who's in Cairo. Syed, we were led to believe last week, after the talks drew to a close in Qatar, that they were due to start in Cairo, where you are. What's happened?
No news about any resumption of the talks, because some of the Hamas members of the political bureau of Hamas said that they are not willing for any new negotiations, because they sent the reply to the proposal announced by Mr. Biden, the American president, on 2nd of July. So they don't accept any conditions, more demands from the Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. So there is, from Hamas side, they are not willing to any new negotiation, any new conditions. In addition to that, within the Israeli negotiation team, there is reports about disagreement between Mr. Netanyahu from one side and some members of the negotiation team regarding some of these members want the deal to be done as the American wants. But Mr. Netanyahu seems to put more conditions which are not accepted even by Egypt or Hamas. So now it's like a deadlock, and no one knows will the negotiation will be restarted again in Egypt or not.
How is this affecting the apparent optimism that some were expressing last week?
Yeah, the optimism came from the American, but like from Hamas side and Israeli side, there is no optimism, because Hamas, members of the political bureau, several of them said like Mr. Netanyahu put more obstacles. The hostages family put pressure on Mr. Netanyahu to reach a deal, but there is some sticking points between the two sides, especially after what's called the bridging proposal by the United States, announced by Mr. Blinken, the American foreign minister, which was not revealed publicly. But there is some disagreement, especially the talks about the presence of Israeli forces along the Philadelphia corridor or Salah ad-Din corridor, and the Netzarim crossing, which separate between the north and central and south of Gaza. So, and within the plan of which accepted by Hamas and announced by Mr. Biden, there is 3 stages of this plan, and there is disagreement about the names of the prisoner released and the numbers and the withdrawal of the Israeli forces, because Mr. Netanyahu repeatedly said there is a red line about fighting Hamas until he demolished Hamas, and there is no signs he demolished Hamas yet after almost 11 months of the war since 7th of October. So there is some sticking points, especially the presence of Israeli on the Philadelphia corridor, which is not accepted by Egypt or Hamas, Netzarim, because Hamas said they need the people evacuated or forced to leave their houses in the north to go back, but the Israeli put conditions that should be monitored because you don't want to allow any militant, according to the Israeli and Mr. Netanyahu, to go to the north without being monitored and screened. So there is many sticking point disagreements. So the optimism came from the American side, but from the concerned side, the Israeli and the Palestinian, there is no optimism.
Saeed, for the moment, thank you very much. Saeed Shahata from BBC Arabic, speaking to us from Cairo. In Israel, a funeral ceremony is being held for one of the hostages whose bodies were recovered from Gaza earlier this week. 8-year-old Yoram Metzger was kidnapped from his home in kibbutz near Ozolong with his wife Tamar, who was released from Hamas captivity after 53 days. The Israeli military retrieved the bodies of 6 hostages from the Gaza Strip on Tuesday as negotiations continue to bring back more than 100 people still being held captive in Gaza.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz taking the center stage last night at the Democratic National Convention to accept the vice presidential nomination and make the case for the woman at the top of the ticket. Yes, Vice President Kamala Harris. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, on the convention floor starts us off this morning. And good morning to you, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, it is safe to say that just a few weeks ago, most Americans had never heard of Tim Walz, but last night he electrified this arena. The nation hearing his personal story and meeting his adoring and very proud family. Walz shared plenty of straight talk and made a heartfelt pitch for the ticket, the former high school football coach leaving it all on the field. Night Coach Walz with a pep talk for the nation.
We're driving down the field.
All right, let's just watch the whole thing.
Please welcome the Democratic nominee for Vice President, Governor Tim Walz.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you, first of all, to Vice President Harris. Thanks for putting your trust in me and for inviting me to be part of this incredible campaign. And a thank you to President Joe Biden for 4 years of strong, historic leadership. It's the honor of my life to accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States. We're all here tonight for one beautiful, simple reason. We love this country. So thank you to all of you here in Chicago and all of you watching at home tonight. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your determination. And most of all, thank you for bringing the joy to this fight. Now, I grew up in Butte, Nebraska, a town of 400 people. I had 24 kids in my high school class, and none of them went to Yale. But I'll tell you what, growing up in a small town like that, you learn how to take care of each other. That family down the road, they may not think like you do. They may not pray like you do.
This is crazy. Reporters are being briefed, it seems, that the DNC accepted Dem State Rep Rule for Georgia as a Palestinian speaker for tonight on the stage, but Uncommitted Movement turned her down. That is simply not true. It's a lie, being told, I assume, by DNC spinners now on the defensive. Uncommitted are the ones who pitched her. And there's still time for the DNC to put Rule for Georgia on stage tonight for 2 minutes. If they have time and space for a former Republican congressman and for Israeli family members of a hostage, they have time and space for an elected Palestinian Democratic lawmaker. Anything else is straight up racism and erasure. What's really funny about this is that this is so Israel, dude. Like, I know this is a Democratic Party, but I think the Democratic Party thinks we can just behave like behave like the Palestinian Americans are like Palestinians in Gaza and just talk over them like this and no one will believe him. Like, this ain't Israel, dog. You can't be doing that. Translate the Hebrew. I never want to do that. Why only 2 minutes? Is the despair of the Democratic Party that much? I can't tell if this guy's like, do you have any sauce left? Oh, I'm gonna use it as trash, yeah. Here. How are the nuggets? They were pretty good. The uncommitted movements X account has been restricted. What are they doing, bro? Twitter just restricted the uncommitted movements account. FYI, the noise gate is not on. Oh my God, dude, I know. Okay, here, let's
they
just
may
listen
not
to Tim
love
Walz.
like you do, but they're your neighbors.
Wait, what?
And you look out for them, and they look out for you. Everybody belongs, and everybody has a responsibility to contribute. For me, it was serving in the Army National Guard. I joined up 2 days after my 17th birthday, and I proudly wore our nation's uniform for 24 years. My dad, a Korean War era Army veteran, died of lung cancer a couple years later. He left behind a mountain of medical debt. Thank God for Social Security survivor benefits. And thank God for the GI Bill that allowed my dad and me to go to college, and millions of other Americans.
March isn't even finishing his food, and he didn't even use all of his sauce. This man is a menace, dude. He was about to throw it out. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Prot is hard to fucking come by, you know?
Eventually, like the rest of my family, I fell in love with teaching. Three out of 4 of us married teachers. I wound up teaching social studies and coaching football at Mankato West High School. Go Scarlets! We ran a 44 defense. We played through to the whistle on every single play, and we even won a state championship. Never closed the yearbook, people. But it was those players and my students who inspired me to run for Congress. They saw in me what I had hoped to instill in them, a commitment to the common good, an understanding that we're all in this together, and the belief that a single person can make a real difference for their neighbors. So there I was, a 40-something high school teacher with little kids, 0 political experience, and no money, running in a deep red district. But you know what? Never underestimate a public school teacher.
I mean, that's great.
I represented my neighbors in Congress for 12 years, and I learned an awful lot. I learned how to work across the aisle on issues like growing the rural economies and taking care of veterans. And I learned how to compromise.
Bro, the guy that said turn off your webcam when you eat, homie, what's your fucking problem, dude? Like, actually, is this it? You just want me to react to you? Every time, dude. What do you want me to do, die? I gotta eat, bro. It's triggering misophonia. I hope it does. I really hope it does. Like, if you're misophonic, I really hope you really get triggered right now. I normally have the best noise gate, but we're obviously inside of a fucking stadium, and chatters have decided that we can't actually, chatters have decided that it's better to not have the noise gate on because, like, noise just keeps seeping in because I'm in a fucking stadium, you know? It's gonna happen. You have to deal with it. Sorry.
Without compromising my values. Then I came back to serve as governor, and we got right to work, making a difference in our neighbors' lives. We cut taxes for the middle class. We passed paid family and medical leave. We invested in fighting crime and affordable housing. We cut the cost of prescription drugs and helped people escape the kind of medical debt that nearly sank my family. And we made sure that every kid in our state gets breakfast and lunch every day. While other states were banning books from their schools, we were banishing hunger from ours. We also protected productive freedom because in Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and the personal choices they make. And even if we wouldn't make those same choices for ourselves, we've got a golden rule. Mind your own damn business. And that includes IVF and fertility treatments. And this is personal for Gwen and I. If you've never experienced the hell that is infertility, I guarantee you, you know somebody who has. And I can remember praying each night for a phone call, the pit in your stomach when the phone would ring, and the absolute agony when we heard the treatments hadn't worked. It took Gwen and I years, but we had access to fertility treatments. And when our daughter was born, we named her Hope. Hope, Gus, and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you. I'm letting you in on how we started a family, because this is a big part about what this election is about. Freedom. And when Republicans use the word freedom, they mean that the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. Corporations, free to pollute your air and water. And banks, free to take advantage of customers. But when we Democrats talk about freedom, we mean the freedom to make a better life for yourself and the people that you love. Freedom to make your own health care decisions. And yeah, your kids' freedom to go to school without worrying about being shot dead in the hall. Look, I know guns. I'm a veteran. I'm a hunter. And I was a better shot than most Republicans in Congress, and I got the trophies to prove it. But I'm also a dad. I believe in the Second
That's how you know we're libbed up, bro. They're fucking clapping for a dude being like, I'm a better shot than Republicans. Like, that's crazy. You missed the best part? Rewind, you missed the best parts?
And that includes IVF and fertility treatments. And this is personal for Gwen and I. If you've never experienced the hell that is infertility, I guarantee you, you know somebody who has. And I can remember praying each night for a phone call, the pit in your stomach when the phone would ring, and the absolute agony when we heard the treatments hadn't worked. It took...
Statement from Uncommitted about the speaking slot. Young Democratic organizers have something to say. Loving this country means speaking out and fighting for all. Let Ruva for Georgia speak. Sam Sanders, idea and give a fuck. You threaten to stay home, not vote? Are you going to cry and get your little Palestine scarves out to wipe your tears when you elect Trump and he hauls all Muslims away, he says. Cool stuff. Yeah, Michigan Democratic Party Chair Lavora Barnes joins UAW in pushing for a Palestinian voice on stage at the Democratic National Convention tonight. It's great. This is a really pivotal moment, Sean. Sean the Black and many others in this community have said it correctly, okay? This is a pivotal moment. This is a moment where we see how the Democratic Party responds, or at least the Kamala Harris campaign, like how much juice they have to specifically respond to these kinds of calls, okay? Like this is a really important moment because it's a super reasonable request. It's an honest request. It's a just request, right? Like these are Democratic Party officials. These are delegates that work within the Democratic Party's infrastructure. Some of them happen to be Palestinian Americans. They have a vetted speech, right? They have a vetted speech that they have pushed. And you have the Democratic Party not being responsive to this stuff. Now, here is Mandy Patinkin.
And the CEO of Americans for Peace Now.
What are you guys thinking about on this day at the DNC?
Talking about what's happening in Israel and what's happening in Gaza and the need for U.S. action because we're more than 10 months in. And, you know, the United States doesn't control everything that happens on the ground there, but we control what we do here. And so we can't necessarily stop the bombing of Gaza, but we...
I know for a fact that the DNC did not act in good faith and continue to lie about the negotiations. They're exposing themselves. Like what? I don't, by the way, I need to explain something to you. Some stuff I'm about to say will be more understandable when I have more time to talk about this. But within the Democratic Party, there are definitely people with different attitudes, and I'm getting to see this firsthand now. Within the Democratic Party, there are people that work in different facets of the Democratic Party. So what I mean by this is the DNC is being operated by people with different interests potentially, or different ideological points of view. So this, weirdly enough, is supposed to be a moment where, you show party unity, but the DNC could be behaving in a way that is not even like the DNC could be behaving in a way that is at odds with the Biden administration's opinions on a matter. I don't think so in this circumstance. Or it could be at odds with the Kamala Harris re-election campaign and their opinion and the way that they make certain calculations. So this is something to consider in terms of like, obviously to the average person on the outside, the DNC and Kamala Harris are like this because their actions reflect poorly or positively on the ticket. Okay? You need to remember this. They know that this is reflective. They know that their actions, even if it's happening not in unison, not in collaboration with the Kamala Harris campaign, they know that that's how the average American understands this. That's like totally valid. It is interesting, however, that is what they choose to go forward with. Okay. Why does the DNC have why does the DNC have one speed? This is identical to Israel does Hasanabi. The average American what? I don't even know what you fucking trying to write, dude. I tweeted out, why does the DNC have one speed? This is exactly how like the Israeli Hasbara operations work. Prem was on Pelosi's ass too. Let's take a look. Watch Pelosi dodge questions from Zateo's Prem Tucker about the exclusion of Palestinian voices at the DNC.
I'm a Jewish American, and I would really love to see a Palestinian American speak from the floor, speak from the stage about the suffering of their experiences in Gaza. Would you like to see a Palestinian American speak from the stage? Speaker, thank you.
Congresswoman, should a Palestinian be speaking from the floor of the convention? Madam Speaker, should Palestinians be heard?
I want to know who said no to their speech. Their name should be broadcasted. I mean, that's not going to happen. Okay? That's not going to happen. Let's be real. That's not. We'll look at the I've had it thing in a second. They shocked us with Waltz. They will shock us tonight with a Palestinian speaker. Bro, what are chatters doing? 40 celebrities who used to work at McDonald's? Bro, what are you sending me? Like, what is happening? Dude, you're going to make me yell right now while they're fucking filming in there. Okay? What the fuck? Are you a AI bot, bro? Did you sell your fucking account? Did you sell your account to a bot? Anyway, we're an hour out from the deadline that the uncommitted delegation put forward. Okay? So, I doubt that they are going to do anything different, but like it does seem like I think it's the DNC that is playing an active role. I think the Democratic National Convention is playing an active role in fucking up this conversation. And there are plenty of outsiders and insiders, both within the Democratic Party and both like big donors, celebrities that are applying pressure. Reports say that Hasanabi Piker is applying pressure to the Democratic Party from inside of the Democratic Party by serving 3 minutes of ads at the top of the hour. That's what reports are saying. They're saying that reports also say that if you no longer want to see those ads at the top of the hour, all you need to do is subscribe for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. That's what reports are saying. That's where we're at. That's crazy. Many people are saying this. All right, let's get back to Manny Patinkin.
We don't have to give them bombs to do it.
We are about inclusivity.
Here. And so we can't, the United States doesn't control everything that happens on the ground there, but we control what we do here. And so we can't necessarily stop the bombing of Gaza, but we don't have to give them bombs to do it.
We are about
there you go.
Inclusivity. We are about quality. We are about not othering. Last night we were sitting with Hadar at the convention, and an extraordinary, brave Israeli couple came up and spoke. What were their names?
John and Rachel Poland.
Yes.
Talked about their son Hirsch, who has been held hostage in Gaza since October 7th. And John and Rachel were so powerful. I was sitting there, we were there literally in tears with tens of thousands of people there.
Yeah.
And, you know, as somebody who is Israeli American and an IDF veteran, and feels that so powerfully, it was important to me.
Bro, I think it's crazy that we've gotten to a point like where you got a dude who's an Israeli American, an IDF veteran, who literally says, hey, we can't stop Israel from bombing Gaza, okay? We can't stop arming them. Like, think about where we're at in terms of the political equation here. I know chatters hear IDF veteran immediately go, ew, gross. Like, but you are not understanding a key factor in this conversation. You have a fucking IDF veteran who is an Israeli American saying there should be an arms embargo on Israel. Okay? Like, it is so, like, this is unimaginable, okay? This is like Bernie Sanders used to say this, and people would go crazy when he said it. Okay? Uh-oh.
To have that representation. It was important to me that they had that opportunity to stand up there and not talk about politics and not talk about policy. They talked about humanity, and they talked about empathy, and they shared their son's plight, they shared their grief. And I thought it was amazing that they had that opportunity. It was powerful for me, and yet we have not heard that voice from a Palestinian American. They have not had that opportunity. And Palestinian American.
It's unmuted. What? Wait, what time do we have to leave? Okay, he looks terrified. It's fine. It's just like we're getting fucking booted. Yeah, I was muted. We're getting booted from this space. We're fine. We're fine for now in this, we're not fine for now. We're like literally, like we're permanently done here. Like there's no, oh my God, bro, that's so fucking whack. Back? What do you mean? I will get fucking evicted forcibly at gunpoint. There's no fighting back. If they say, when someone says you gotta leave this area and like move to a different area, do you know how many fucking Secret Service and like federal agents are here? Are you out of your mind? Like there's no world where I just keep doing this, you know? Are they giving you another place to go? I don't know. And what are we gonna do about our stuff? We have until, wait, really? Oh my God. Did you interview AOC yet? Yeah, why even let you in just to kick you around? Guys, come on. Come on. We're at the Democratic National Convention. There's a lot of fucking things that are moving around, okay? There's a lot of moving parts at any given moment. They're not kicking me out of the convention. They're saying that they have to use this space. Okay? And now they're saying they don't have to use this space until later. They wouldn't do this to CNN? Yeah, no shit they wouldn't do this to CNN, dog. I'm not CNN. What do you mean? The fact that I have CNN level access is already insane. Be for fucking real, okay? I don't even know how I got this level of... I don't even know how I got this level of accommodation to begin with. Okay? Hasanabi, I'm a very important person. Please inform them I'm watching this, sir. Tell them your uncle Jank. Your uncle is Jank. Yeah, I'll tell them that. They gave him a worse space than me, so I don't know how that would work. Chat forgets you were potentially planning from streaming from your hotel room all week. Yeah, well, because they didn't give me a space originally. Oh, this is lame. Okay. Just kind of whack as you told him you'd want to do it all day. Yeah, I know. I literally said, if I can't do it all day, I won't come in. I will just stream from my hotel room. But it is what it is, okay? It's not their fault. It's out of our hands. It's out of everyone else's hands. Listen, they pushed out Joe Biden. Of course, they'll push me out too, you know? If they can do it to him, they can do it to me as well, chat. Anyway, let's finish this up.
Palestinians who are suffering their own grief and dealing with their own traumas need to have their humanity recognized.
We feel it's really important that while the convention is still going, that we also get to hear from Palestinian voice
Yes.
in this process, as we've heard from a different part of the experience. And there's still time for the DNC to make that right choice. And we hope they do.
To not hear that voice is too loud a scream of, I don't even know what the word is. It's wrong.
Yeah.
I saw the Uncommitted Movement account got restricted on Twitter, I know. Midas Touch coming in hot with the JD Vance thing. JD Vance had a very awkward visit to a donut shop in Georgia earlier. Trust us, it's worse than you even think.
She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything.
Almost 2 years.
Okay, good. Almost everything, yeah. I mean, a lot of glazed here, some sprinkle stuff, some of these cinnamon rolls, just like this. Always
Never ordered a donut before. He's never got a dozen, dude. What the fuck? Yo, this is like, dude, I swear to God, he's an alien. I swear to God. Oh my God, his haircut is so bad. I swear to God, he's a fucking alien. They built him in a lab and they were like, here, try to like resemble a human. Like, this is one of the most basic things, bro. Who doesn't know how to order 12 fucking donuts? Whatever makes sense. Bro, my mouth is watering thinking about 12 different kinds of donuts that I would want to have, okay? Like, first of all, you gotta get the fucking pink sprinkle, okay? It's a classic. The Simpsons put that shit on the map. You have to get it, okay? I'm also partial to a glaze. I'm a glaze man myself. It's another classic, okay? I think you got to get that glaze. French cruller, okay? I fucking love that shit. Oh my God, the mouthfeel on the French cruller, oh my Lord. Holy moly, got to do it for Boston. You got to get that Boston cream, okay? Holy moly, okay? Double up on that. And then last one, you go, hey, you know what? You choose the last one, okay? You give me one that you like. If you don't want to do that, there's plenty of opportunities. And if you come at me and you say something along the lines of, oh, I actually like the double chocolate glaze one, no way. Some people in the chat are saying maple bar, excellent taste. I knew I was in a good community. I knew I was surrounded by people who actually have good taste, okay? Delectable, delightful. Jelly donuts, pretty solid too. Love me a little jelly. Oh, this man is a demon. I just, by the way, I didn't see any of these donuts, but I was able to fucking fire off 6 of them, 7 of them in a row because I'm a normal human being and I wasn't built in a fucking lab like JD Vance was, where he basically just got out of the, he got out of the fucking vat before he was fully concocted, okay? Like, do you live in a fucking cave? Like, how do you not know 6 fucking donuts, dude?
Good. How about you, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Okay, good. Almost everything, yeah. I mean, a lot of glazed here, some sprinkle stuff, some of these cinnamon rolls, just whatever makes sense. How long has this place been around?
About 4 years.
About 4 years? Okay. How long have you been here?
You guys make fun of me and say I'm autistic as hell, okay? You make fun of me, you say I'm autistic as hell in the way that I react to people, but like, when I'm actually not in fucking panic mode because like there's a million different directions I'm being pulled at, when you see me communicate with people in the fucking real world, I don't do this, okay? I don't fucking do this shit. I have a normal goddamn conversation. This is incredible. Yeah, this isn't autism. This is just like him being not a human. Bro, we found the end of the spectrum. Yeah, you do owe me an apology. Okay? You owe me an apology.
Okay, good. The zoo has come to town. Thank you for letting us come in here.
Brother, are these interviews still happening? I got my dad on tap to watch you with Sean Fain. Brother, I'm trying to fucking work, okay? I'm working. We're working. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of stuff happening right now where there... Another place we can move my setup with internet, not to cancel my interviews. I said it. I said, do we have another place we can move my setup with the internet? If not, I'm going to cancel my interview and most likely move back to the hotel. I mean, all things considered, look, the fact that we got this level of access, the fact that we were able to do this stuff as much, like, no, I'm not going to do a roaming interview, chat. I want to live react to the actual speeches and shit, okay? Can you just not go back to the influencer suite? Probably not. From a past retail worker, this is peak I'm better than you vibes. Yeah, you can't have a normal conversation. The DNC is just trying to push you out. Yeah, that's why. In a revolutionary strategy, breaking. Kamala Harris's campaign will broadcast her acceptance speech tonight on Twitch. This is what meeting voters where they are looks like. Yeah, I hope they don't fucking kick me out. The Undertaker was spotted at O'Hare earlier today. The Undertaker? Wait, The Undertaker is like a fucking Trump supporter. Did they capture The Undertaker? Is he actually fucking coming to the DNC? I doubt it. There's no way. He's MAGA as fuck, bro. Nah, no way it's today. There's no way. I'm not even surprised you yelled at some random chatters, dude. What? Dude, you are so fucking stupid. I swear to God. Well, yeah, dude, that's why they're kicking me out of this room, because I yelled at a chatter. And not when I was like doing the gravest crime of all, which is like criticize Obama while he was giving a fucking speech. Like, what's up? The New York Times? Okay. It was actually a PIJ misfire that blocked her from speaking. Jesus Christ. This tweet might be the reason why I'm getting kicked out, by the way. Like, that is a more likely reason why I'm getting downgraded than anything else. But yeah, the UAW this morning called for a Palestinian American to speak as well. This is really good. I mean, this is a really good vector of pressure too. Compare to this, and you can see why the favorables are totally flipped.
And then we did a little rally on the side. If you don't know, the iconic Nebraska restaurant is the Runza. Don't call it anything else except a Runza. The bread consistency, all of it really matters. I got the Swiss and mushroom, is kind of a classic. The cheese is solid. You can be a little bit creative, but this is it. If you're going to go to Nebraska, if you're going to go to a Nebraska football game, if you're just going to be a good person, you stop at Runza. I think it's the bread. Get this guy on TV for Runza. Thanks for the work you're doing. It matters.
Yeah, look at that versus this.
She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything. Appreciate that, man. I'm Katie Hance. I'm running for Vice President of DNC.
Okay.
How long have you worked here?
I've been here since the beginning of July.
Okay.
For this year.
Thanks, sir.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. My headset is like fucking up too. I can't even. My headset's not working either.
Just everything. Yeah, a lot of glazed here, some sprinkle stuff.
Yeah. Vance is cringe. Walls is fake, but good. I don't think Tim Walz is fake. I don't think Tim Walz is fake. I'll say it. Oh my God, I met Olivia Giuliana this morning. Well, before we got started, by the way, she came up to me and she was like,
"This November, I'll cast my first vote in a presidential election."
I didn't know who she when she came up to me. I didn't know who she was at first. She's like, "I'm Olivia Giuliana." I was like, "Oh my God." She was nice though. She wasn't like mean or anything. She was just like, she said that you guys were being mean to her, and I told her to not be mean to her on my behalf, which is true. You guys shouldn't do that. It's lame as fuck.
Our right to vote is under attack. I've seen.
Oh my God, Austin is there. That is crazy.
Long wait lines. People.
And he's on his little tippy toes too. Oh my God, he's on his little tippy toes so he gets a fucking national TV.
Registering to vote. Texans denied our voice. Donald Trump's Republicans are making it harder.
You were mean to her? You called her a nobody? No, I said she doesn't represent a real constituency, which is true. Okay? There is no under 35 voter who's like not interested in anything Palestine related and wanted Joe Biden to fucking be in the race all the way up until the fucking last moment, and also wanted Josh Shapiro. It's like the trifecta. Like, that's ridiculous. It's true. That right there is a typical party play for like the older donors, okay? It's like the very same people who think Pete Buttigieg represents young people. No, you know who represents young people's interests better? Bernie Sanders. And we got numbers on the board to prove it. Pete Buttigieg's like primary voting block was 65 plus. Bernie Sanders' primary voting block were the youth vote. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's not bullying. It's the truth. People literally think like, oh, well, this person is young and she's saying things that like I want to hear as an old person. So she must be, she must be, because she's young, she must be speaking on behalf of the youth. That's not the truth.
For us to vote, but we won't let them get away with it.
Also, what the fuck is Gen Z about Austin, bro? He old as hell.
With it either. She's fought for our freedoms. She's fought for our voice. But we will only be heard if we vote. As the saying goes, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So Gen Z.
What do you mean? Austin is not Gen Z, chat. Don't be fucking Delulu, okay? That's crazy. What's going on, my man? I'm doing all right. Hello. Are you comfortable being on camera? Sure. All right. What's happening? All right, we got the New York Times in here, chat. Where's March? Is March not here? Wait, I'm sorry, can you get him real quick so we can fix the camera? All right. Oh, I mean, I guess I could do it myself. I hope I don't mess this up. There it is. Here we go. How chaotic is this for you?
It's fairly chaotic.
Yeah,
I'll live with it.
This is like, you know, people are always, whenever I have guests on, they're like, how the fuck, what are you doing? There's more people in this chat than there are in this arena right now.
How many are in the chat?
53,000, 52,000.
How's that? What's your typical stream?
It depends, right? If things are like happening, I think like a lot of people tune in. It's like TV, but for Gen Z.
Yeah.
Like for the under 35 demographic.
Oh, sure. Right. I was curious what your number might be, like typical.
On average, it's around 30 to 40. But right now it's the last day of the DNC, so obviously there's a lot more people.
Yeah. So you've been streaming every day at the convention?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying.
From here or all over the place?
So, the first day I have a roaming backpack as well.
Yeah.
So I roam around. First day we did that because we didn't have a space. Then I tried to communicate to the team, to the DNC, like I need a space so I can put my remote desktop set up and like be there permanently. So the second day they gave me a part of the creator lounge where they were like, yeah, you can stream from here, but then they didn't realize like I was gonna be there the whole time and yelling the whole time. And then there were other creators that were, you know, trying to use the space, so they were like, we'll put you somewhere else. So then they put me here yesterday, and it's worked out well. I mean, obviously there's like times when we get kicked out because like someone has to come in and shoot or use the space. But overall, it's been fine. I think we might get kicked out after this again, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Are you the only streamer here as a creator?
No, there's some other streamers here. There are some smaller streamers here as well.
Yeah.
That also do political commentary. Gremlo's one of them. I don't know if he got. I guess he got access as a creator as well. But I would say I'm probably one of the. I'm out of like the large streamers. I'm the only one.
Someone told me you were out with the uncommitted people for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went out and I interviewed them early this morning before I started. I mean, I live streamed that as well.
Yeah. Who have you had on your stream, like politician-wise or anyone else?
So we've had Greg Kazar yesterday. That was wonderful. He's sick. He's really cool. We had, who else did we have? We had a bunch of, Ed Markey showed up randomly, just kind of popped in. That was cool. And also Cori Bush I interviewed at the Uncommitted campaign. And I also interviewed Ro Khanna as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
In the past, you've done like, didn't you do AOC at one point in the past?
Yeah. AOC's supposed to be coming on after you.
Oh, really?
Today,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, up here or somewhere else?
Hopefully, if we're still here, if we don't move, if we don't get moved, then it will be here. I've also interviewed like a bunch of like journalists or, you know, people that are interviewing me. They'll come on the stream, kind of like you're doing right now. Like Donnie O'Sullivan from CNN is like featuring me in one of his documentaries he's working on. So, yeah, and then a whole bunch of activists. Yeah.
And that, I mean, people have been talking about how some people were surprised that the DNC like gave you a credential.
I'm surprised that they did.
Why?
Because I mean, honestly, I am obviously very critical of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Like I'm anti-Trump. Like that's not a secret, right?
Yeah.
I'm very anti-Trump. But I'm also very critical of the Democratic Party in general, across the board, not just this time around, but just consistently for their proximity to like Republican legislation in general, like the way that they sometimes capitulate or concede to Republican policy making, Republican narratives, And I don't like that. I want them to be a party that fights and a party that truly represents progress in this country.
Right.
Because like it or not, we just have a duopoly. I can't change that.
And so did you get any pushback? Not pushback. Well, first of all, how did it happen? How did you end up getting invited to do this?
So, it actually happened because I got my management to ask like the influencer credentials, like to ask for credentials, and they don't know like the press route or anything. They're like a normal agency, right?
Yeah,
like a Hollywood management company. So they went the route that they know, which is influencer.
Right.
And that's how it worked out.
And what was that? Before or after Biden stepped out?
It was actually before.
It was before. Okay.
It was before Biden stepped out, and I was definitely a lot more critical back then too. So,
I mean, I wonder it was approved before Biden stepped out too. Do you know?
I don't know if it was. I think it was.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the conversations happened before, but I don't know. I don't know if it was.
There's like, unproven speculation that like if they had opened up the creator window or whatever after Biden dropped out, it would have been a whole different like group of people. Like they were a little bit. It was difficult to get people to sign up before, allegedly, and then after everyone was desperate. By then they'd already greenlighted all these people.
Oh,
so.
I didn't care. Yeah. I was, I wanted to come here. I wasn't going to compromise on my values. I wasn't going to say anything differently because I'm here, and I haven't. But I was still interested regardless.
Right.
It wasn't because of my like admiration of Joe Biden, obviously, which I very openly was critical of. They knew that as well. So, it still worked
and they
out.
haven't given you any kind of like putting any like guardrails around what you can do, or like giving you any instructions and anything like that?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't speak for other content creators, but for me, no, they have not done that.
Yeah. Have they offered the access you got to the politicians you mentioned? Was that through them, or did you get it on your own, or how did that happen?
Some of them on my own. Some of them I think they directly reached out.
Yeah.
Like they reached out. By the way, make sure you don't show your phone to the camera.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, basically, the access that I got to politicians was, I think they are the ones who reached out. They sent me a list.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm like at liberty to say what it is. Like I don't want to be.
Well, that's fine. I've talked to a bunch of creators this week.
Yeah, they sent me like a list, but I didn't. I was like, I don't care about this.
Yeah.
So, but most of the interviews, like AOC, I have a direct line of communication with her and her team. Ilhan Omar, same thing. With Sean Fain through the UAW. Like a lot of the progressive politicians, I either go through the activist route or I will know someone on their team through Twitter, and I just like reach out to them directly. But the politicians I've interviewed so far, they reached out to I guess, either the agency, like the marketing agency, or the DNC, or my management.
Right. And how many hours are you streaming on any given day in your normal life, and then how's that compare to the convention?
So normally I stream at a minimum 8 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
But it's much easier to do from my house.
Right. It's all
I have
set
this
up.
I have this setup, and I also have like everything. I'm used to doing it in my house, and I have this like rigid schedule that like allows me to be able to do it. Here, I also am doing 8 hours every single day so far, but it is 7 days a week. Yeah.
You must take breaks, right? There's times what if you travel or something like that?
That is the only time. The only time I actually technically take a break is if I'm flying internationally, and I simply don't have time. Like I physically cannot stream.
Right.
But I do stream when I travel. Like when I go, I bring my remote setup that you're looking at right now. I bring that everywhere.
So you'll be like walking to the airport to do your stream?
No, I don't do that because they would call in bomb threats. I think people used to do that back in the day, and they would call bomb threats. Yeah,
and not from the plane.
Yeah. No, nothing like that.
Yeah. But like your buddy's getting married or something. Like you can tell your audience, like, you know what, I need.
I took it. Well, I took a day off because a friend of mine had a bachelor party.
There you go.
I took 1 day off. So yeah.
How long has that been going on? 8 hours a day thing?
Well, I went full time in 2020, in the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
And I haven't stopped.
With the
so
pandemic?
I guess, yeah. In the year 2020, I spent 42% of the entire year live on camera, which is not normal, I know.
Wow.
Our forefathers and mothers fought and died for. They died on the battlefields, in factories.
Do you ever take a nap on camera?
No.
I saw Kai Cenat do that.
Yeah, so that's a different, like, there's a different style, I guess, like, where they do, like, subathons, or they'll do, like, they'll have, like, a set goal. Like, they'll be like, I'm going to finish this game, and I'm not stopping my stream until I finish this game. And sometimes it's, like, hundreds of hours. It takes, like, a week, right? So, obviously, they have to sleep in that process, so they'll even sleep on camera. I don't do that. But I do basically stream virtually every hour that I'm not sleeping anyway.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's like, I just want to have a little bit of time to myself. I'm 33.
Yeah.
So I need to work out. I need to, spend time with my family. So usually I, take a little bit of time, like a couple hours here and there.
Some kind of limits to your camera
That's
time.
the limit to my camera time is 8 hours a day.
So
well, not 8, but
and you do what kind of commercial work do you do? Can you talk about that?
Commercial work?
Do you do any commercial work? Do you get?
What do you mean by like ads? There are a lot of brands that reach out and they want to sponsor me. I usually don't do that. I choose not to.
Have you done any?
Yeah. Video games for the most part. Like I'll if I'm gonna play a video game anyway, and they're giving me money to do it, I'm like sure.
Right.
But beyond that, I rarely ever take on sponsorships.
You're not gonna do like an energy drink or something like that.
I mean, depends. If it's something that I consume or something that I like, then yeah, I would do it. But I guess on top of that, we just recently on our podcast started doing some ads as well, some branded stuff. But my podcast is a cooperative.
Yeah.
And March is my producer. He's a part owner of the podcast.
Okay.
And everyone in the cooperative gets a say.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do advertising, so I was like, sure, why not?
And those aren't ads. You're not reading the ads. They're ads that they're like.
No, we're reading ads.
Oh,
Like,
reading ads.
yeah. We'll what did we do? SeatGeek or something? We did a SeatGeek ad for my for my podcast Fear End.
Okay. And so the other thing, one thing I'm interested in is like the role of streamers in politics. You've had a few politicians on. I know you've talked about this, like Aiden Ross sat down with Trump or whatever. I feel like there's gonna be more of this kind of thing. It seems like politicians are like, oh, this is something people do, and we need to pay attention to that.
Yeah. Look, I think this goes against my best interest to admit this, but I think politicians should focus more on their platforms rather than what platform that they're streaming on.
Oh, very clever.
Because no, I'm serious, and I'm not saying this as a political commentator. Well, I guess I am saying this as kind of a political commentator, but I am also saying this as someone who has been professionally covering, the rat race and numerous election cycles at this point. Bernie Sanders was one of the most popular politicians for the youth, right? He was old as hell.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what Twitch is. I mean, they put him on Twitch.
They did?
Yeah, he has a Twitch stream as well. But that's not the reason why he was popular with the youth. AOC is not popular with the youth because she's young. It's because she's young and she speaks to the same things that Bernie Sanders speaks to. I think young people, albeit on average, are not very interested in the political process at all. Demonstrably, they vote in a lower percentage than, their voter participation percentage is much lower than older people. But the ones that do pay attention, the ones that do vote, are very primed. They are, I would say they are more interested and more invested in policies than an older person is, to a certain degree.
Right.
So in order to activate the youth, politicians should focus more on their policies that actually materially improve the lives of young people rather than what platform they're going to be on.
But they think, I can tell you, having talked to a lot of people, they think that there are people they can't reach otherwise. They think the people...
There are.
Yeah.
They're here. They're definitely here.
They're here, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying that, it's not just simply appearing.
It's more of an
It's not simply just appearing on the platform. If you do that, sure, it's just another outlet, right? It's going to be exactly like what Donald Trump does. He's on Twitch. Yeah. He's live streaming his broadcast. He's live broadcasting his rallies, but that doesn't really move the needle that much. No one is, I think, getting convinced because they saw a Trump rally on Twitch as opposed to a Trump rally on television.
Right.
What matters is what they're saying at the rallies.
But he goes on Aiden Ross. He's got that audience. He says maybe the things they like to hear. I don't know.
I think Trump has a different style. It's not necessarily policy focused, as we've realized at this point.
Yeah.
And it's more so a personality, a charisma, like something that is very appealing to a lot of people. I think that he laser focused on his own. He laser focused on a group of people that I assume were the only people he could gain from, because like he's pretty maxed out when it comes to name recognition. Everybody knows who Trump is.
Yep.
Out of the demographics that do vote, they've already made up their minds on him.
Yep.
They've made up their minds on him in 2016, or at least in 2020, right? So I think he was trying to go after people who are, I assume, like the same like disconnected, disaffected, but younger men in general that listen to like pickup podcasts and things like that.
Yeah.
Like Red Pill, the Manosphere community.
Yep.
But I don't know if he'll be able to like activate enough people from just the Aiden Ross appearance to go out and vote.
Right, but I mean, also that whole community, the people who are streaming you not one time. A lot of times, it's like they have almost like a relationship with you, right? Like they know what you're gonna.
Yeah.
They watch over and over.
Yes.
It seems like he would have to go on over and over to build that same kind of relationship.
So this platform has a tremendous benefit. I think you asked about advertising.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I did ad work when I was at the Young Turks back in the day, and I think this platform specifically, like live streaming specifically, creates such a powerful sense of community, and there's so much trust in the content creator because you're spending a lot of time with them over the course of 8 hours, maybe not the entire 8 hours, but like, you know, the viewership, the average time spent on this platform is like an hour. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like unheard of in comparison to anything else, right? So there's a lot of trust that they build with their content creator in that regard. And of course, that is the reason why I think like advertising on this platform is probably more successful than just buying an ad in front of a YouTube video.
Right.
And I see that. I mean, sometimes I'll click on a random link on a website to look at like, I don't know, like merchandise or something, and we end up giving the website a hug of death. It's like a distributed denial of service attack, but it's not an attack. It's not like directed at that website to overload their service, but we end up overloading those services anyway.
On the stream, you click on it.
Yeah, and then people are like, oh my God, I want to go see it myself.
Yeah.
So, like, that is somewhat of a testament to like the audience loyalty, I guess.
Yeah.
So yes, politicians could take advantage of that to a certain degree, but I don't know how effective it would be for like a one-off.
Right.
You know?
Right. That said, like if you had, it sounds like you're pretty open. I mean, if you had an opportunity to sit down with like Kamala Harris, I suppose you would do that, right?
Probably, I would do that. Yeah, but I mean, it's a calculation that I make in time. Like it's a calculation that I make definitely where I'm like, I don't want to be so disruptive in this conversation that I might have that like it shows them in a really bad light, you know what I mean? Or it shows me in a really bad light. So I try to stay away from like politicians that I actively, on the Democratic Party side at least, that I actively like am in disagreement with. But I mean, I would still do it.
Just given the platform, the figure she is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Do you think of yourself as a journalist?
No.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm a political commentator. I don't. I'm as much as a journalist as Jake Tapper is a journalist.
Okay.
He might have done journalism in the past, but I don't think he's a journalist now.
Right.
I guess he breaks stories sometimes, or
his people do, right? Yeah.
But yeah, but like I rarely ever do original reporting. I think that if you are a journalist, you do original reporting. You have a beat, or even if you don't have a beat, you do original reporting.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah. You sit with Republican politicians?
Oh yeah.
Have you?
I mean, I guess Larry Elder technically.
Okay.
He did become a Republican politician for a little bit, or a Libertarian one too.
Yep.
But he was running for governor of California. I debated him on Alex Michelson's like Fox local channel in Los Angeles.
Okay. What about? I mean, it's kind of it seems unlikely, but given like if Trump's people were like he wants to go on your show, would you do it?
If Trump wanted to come on my show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do it.
I would love that.
And you think that would be combative, or what would it be like?
Yes.
Yeah, he'd be going for it.
I think it would be combative. Yeah. It would be content too.
Do you feel like your audience are like not politically aligned with you, or do you think there's a variety of like opinions?
I think that my point of view and my ideology, like what I believe in, or at least like the moral foundation is not radical, but my ideology is definitely outside of the confines of like what is permissible, acceptable in mainstream media. So it's not exactly something that is like broadly represented. So I do find myself constantly making an argument to try to get people to see the world from my worldview, from my perspective.
Yeah.
But there are definitely a lot of people who have, over the course of many, many years, like, seen the world from my lens. I mean, I went to the Palestinian protest first day.
Yeah.
And throughout the entire protest, we live streamed it.
Yeah.
There were hundreds of people that came up, including event organizers that were like organizing the pro-Palestinian protest. That came up and were like, you were instrumental in my development. Like, you radicalized me. You made me see the world in a very different way. You know that's a scary thing. That's a scary word. Yeah, that was a scary word, I know. But like, what I mean by that is like, there's not a lot of representation. There's not a lot of representation of like the Palestinian side of the equation, I would say, in mainstream media in comparison to the Israeli side. And I think that I try to offer that to the best of my ability, and I think I also try to show the humanity of that side as well, so that people develop a different understanding that they might not have been privy to if all they saw was somewhat one-sided approaches.
Doesn't come. I mean, it can come like offering your opinion all the time can come across as preachy. That's like a risk of it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How do you deal with that?
People think I'm an asshole. People think I'm preachy. It is what it is, you know? But here's the thing. I will never deny that I'm a biased person. And I think that is more honest than acting like you have no bias when you, of course, do. I understand, like, objective news reporting, but there's still obviously underlying biases there. As a matter of fact, a big part of, like, what I do is to basically hold people's hand through the media process. Like, I have a lot of respect for traditional journalism. I have a lot of friends in traditional outlets, including your outlet, as a matter of fact. I have, like, you know, there's plenty of investigative reporters that I communicate with, that I talk to on a regular basis, that I really value their work, and I always will promote them here as well. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for mainstream media, right? Like, otherwise it would just be me talking shit in my room. You know, there's no original reporting that I'm doing, right? So I understand the necessity, and I try to look at it with a more critical lens.
Well, I mean, I told you before, I think there's more and more interest from politicians in streaming. Like, they've kind of in a vague way identified this as a place they should fuck around with, they should be experimenting with. I've talked to some people who are like, yeah, we're going to do a campaign, we're going to get more and more, like, I mean, an advertising campaign, we're going to get more and more political types on to streaming.
Yeah.
It seems like you're the kind of person that you want to target, because you might be critical about some things, but they feel like they have the sense that streamers are all like right-wing, and the idea that there's a safe space for Democrats to the left is interesting to them.
Yeah. I don't think streamers are all right-wing at all. That is, I think, one of the reasons why I actually got on Twitch originally was because I knew that in the gamer space, this is a gaming platform originally, right? And in the gaming space, I knew that there was like a lot of people who, like I myself, I'm a gamer. There's a lot of people like me. The gaming space is very diverse, and there's a diversity of ideas in the gaming space as well. But like the only type of commentary that existed in the space was right-wing to far-right. People who consider themselves to be centrist, that would oftentimes carry water for the right, or people who were genuinely far-right, all the way to like white nationalism, right? But I don't think that's how it is on Twitch, and I don't think that's how the gaming space is in general either. I don't think the streaming space is like that either. But it's largely people who might have a lot of progressive opinions, but are just either apolitical or just try to stay out of political commentary and politics in general.
But the right-wing people feel less restrained.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're definitely very. I mean, when do the right, you know, when do they shut the fuck up? You know, pardon my French, but they love calling themselves the the silent majority, and they are actually the exact opposite. They're very loud, and they are the minority.
Right. I mean, you saw the videos. I saw some videos. I'm sure you've seen them of like someone like Aiden Ross. Not to harp on him, but like having a Trump on or whatever, and then like all these videos pop up of him like he doesn't know what the word fascist means. Like he doesn't know. There's like not really a lot of basic information that he has. That someone wonders. I mean, I have the impression you're pretty well read. You think about these issues. I don't get the impression that he maybe has the same background in thinking about politics.
You're being very nice.
Oh.
You're being very nice. No, he's a fucking idiot.
I would never say that.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't say that. You're in the New York Times, but he is. I mean, he is not an intelligent person at all. He literally had a conversation with another streamer who I like a lot, actually, where he thought that Joe Biden was responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade. But that's exactly the type of person that Donald Trump needs to captivate. That's like...
It's like the low information.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds kind of messed up to say, but it is the reality, yes. That's what Trump has to go after. Them and like the high information voter that is a billionaire
they're like maybe more cynical, right? There's something else going on there, I would think.
Yeah, there are high information voters that vote Republican. They're just assholes.
Have you had reach out on the political side that you've turned down?
Have I ever been reached out?
Have you had reached out from like the political world with stuff that you don't want to do that you've turned down?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not really.
And who else would you say is like a middle, like left of center to progressive streamer?
Who else is a left of center progressive streamer?
Like who else? What are the streamers with an actual kind of like that's meaningful are progressive like yourself or somewhere in the spectrum?
I mean, there are a lot of streamers that are progressive, but they just don't do political commentary.
Right.
They stay away from that, is what I'm saying.
But who would avoid it? Who wouldn't want?
Yeah, exactly.
Who wouldn't want AOC?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So,
well, they would do it with AOC. I mean, I had all my friends at the time on my stream, like when we did the Among Us thing in the election cycle. Like there were a lot of those guys that are like very progressive people.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll rephrase it and say, who, other than you, if you were like a political consultant, who would you advise that people are like talking to, cultivating, building alliances, building a community with?
There are smaller streamers that also do this. Central Committee, Grimlow, Sean the Black, Frogan. There's a lot of like streamers on Twitch. There's also Caroline Kwan. There are a lot of streamers that stream on Twitch that do political commentary. You have Majority Report that also is on Twitch as well, but that's like a radio show. It used to be a radio show. So there are plenty of people, but in terms of like audience impact and size, like that's just me basically hyping up my friends at this point. Like if we're being real, but as far as like impact and size in terms of like what would move the needle, I don't know. I don't know who would be willing. It would be entirely dependent on like what the interest is.
Right.
Like what are they trying to do? Are they trying to have a conversation about like abortion? If they are, I'm sure there are plenty of streamers that would be down to do something about that. You know, fundraise for it, or even talk to a politician for it, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
But outside of that, outside of that, like it just depends on what the issue is, really.
Okay.
But if it's like an all-encompassing, like if it's like labor related, like I don't know how many streamers would be interested in that overall.
Topic. You would talk about it.
Yeah, of course. I'm saying other than the political commentators that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many streamers would be like super invested in that conversation like that. Because they're thinking about it from the point of view of content too.
And they're thinking about what their audience wants to hear. They don't want to like. I mean, is that something? Going back to just generally what you do, is that something on your mind all the time? Like I gotta feed the beast. I gotta keep my audience happy. Or do you feel like what makes me happy is what makes them happy? Like that's how it works.
Not necessarily. I mean, I do care about like making everything that I say entertaining.
Yeah.
Like I do care about educating people, and I care about entertaining people, and I think that is the best way to educate people in general. having said that, there are obviously a lot of instances. This is like the worst moment for me to have this conversation right now because like we're locked in. We're at the DNC. This is all politics all the way, right? But outside of political commentary, yes, I do a lot of stuff. I game. I do collaborations. I, for example, the other week went to DreamCon, which is a convention. It's like an anime convention created by a black comedy troupe called RDC.
Okay.
They're huge on YouTube and they're really funny.
Okay.
Right. And I went to their anime convention to go play basketball in their creator league that they have.
Okay.
And that is like completely outside of the world of politics, right? Like I'm in Austin, I'm playing basketball, I'm collaborating with other content creators. Like I see that as an avenue to show myself in a different light. I see that as an avenue to show myself in a different way to like people that normally wouldn't see that side of me. And I also think that like contributes to my approach. But yeah, first and foremost, I want to be entertaining. So I do stuff like that as well.
Do you see, I mean, you obviously, you like doing this, you like doing 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you see yourself transitioning to anything more political than commentary?
Like as in run for office? No.
Or like be a consultant or get involved in politics in any way? Or do you really see it?
I do get involved in politics.
On the media side, right? On the media, the commentary.
Well, it's not just on the media side. So I work with labor organizers, I work with activists, and I do a lot of fundraisers as well. So I try to get my community to also do things that matter. Right? Because a lot of people feel very powerless when they're watching all of this awfulness unfold. Russia invades Ukraine. We launch a fundraiser to get money, to raise money for Ukrainian refugees. Another big one was when the earthquake happened in Turkey and northern Syria. We fundraised like $1.3 million in a matter of a week because I think a lot of people want to help, and that's like one way that I can figure out. That's one way that I found that we can like immediately have some sort of impact.
Right, that makes sense.
For Gaza, post October 7, after the Israeli incursion, I immediately knew a bunch of these charities that were working on the ground, these 8 organizations that were working on the ground that I wanted to fundraise for, and we did. I set up a fundraiser through Tiltify. They went to the 8 organizations on the ground, and they got, they officially were able to work with them. And we raised, I don't remember the exact numbers, I think we raised like around 1.3 or 1.4 million dollars the first time around. And then we also got together a bunch of content creators and created an initiative called like Creators for Gaza, Creators for Palestine. And then we fundraised another million plus. So, those are things that I also end up doing. I was the largest single donor to the Amazon labor union.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, like my impact, I try to do my very best. I as far as like how I live my life and how I try to advocate for certain things. And then beyond that, I also am like actively bringing on labor organizers, activists, community organizers, local politicians, and trying to show people that like these are the people that are working, and also do my very best to help them out as best as I can.
This is a really unrelated, non-political question. I just noticed. How tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
6'4". Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a tall guy.
He wrote that down. He wrote 6'4".
I'll forget it. You can see this in the notebook.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're going analog.
Yeah, no one else does this, right?
Yeah, no,
Who
not
else
at
takes
all.
notes on your show with a pen?
No, I mean I talk to journalists all the time. They don't use the notebook and a pen anymore. They use the iPhone.
No one. Yeah, I don't. I'm a lot. I might be even older than I look. It turns out. But
wait, how old are you?
49.
Oh, you don't look 49.
I might be that old. I'm pretty old.
Yeah, you don't look 49 at all. You look pretty. You're fit.
I try to keep.
What do you do? What do you do? Marathons?
Not that much. But
you look like a runner. I knew it.
And I swim.
I knew it. That's the stubborn. Only a runner would fucking still use a goddamn pen and paper. Classic.
Well, if I was typing, I would never look up. I can look up a little bit this way. What do? You play basketball?
I work out. I lift. I play basketball.
You don't stream that though, do you?
Sometimes.
You do sometimes.
But like not usually. No, that's me time.
Right.
When I'm touching grass.
If you want to watch a movie, you're not streaming that either, right?
No, yeah, I don't. I could, but depends on the movie. But no,
I mean, you could watch it. They could be watching like. Remember, you ever see Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah.
You could do that. You could offer.
I could just like. Well, I do sometimes do it. It's called. We do reacts like.
Yeah, it's like when you're playing a game, right?
Yeah, it's exactly the same principle.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Well, like I'm glad I got to meet you. I know you talked to my colleague too about this, and I'm just like very interested in this. I think whether politicians really get it or not, I definitely don't totally get it yet. I'm not gonna lie, I'm learning.
No, I know.
But like
they don't. The DNC doesn't get it either. Trust me. That's why they put me in here. I think, but it worked in my favor.
Yeah.
In a little bit, I think. Yeah, I got like crazy access.
It's pretty incredible, right? But I feel like they would give you more. Like my gut is.
I think if they knew what I did, like if they fully understood it, yeah, like technically they should give me, full-blown access. Like they should give me this as a permanent space. I mean, look, what is NBC at right now? Let's take a look. Yeah, see, NBC's coverage, live coverage currently has 38,000 views.
Right.
We have 55,000 people watching, and they're just watching you and I talk. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. You know? No disrespect to NBC. No. I know that there's a little bit of drama. This is me doing journalism.
Okay, let me hear.
I'm gonna flip the script on you.
Okay.
Are there talks in mainstream outlets about like in terms of how they feel about influencers getting access that otherwise would be given to like credentialed reporters?
I mean, there's definitely out in the press area. There's grumbling. It's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
And, there's a little bit of like people getting their back up about it. It's also true that no one has sympathy for like a whiny journalist, right? No one wants to hear a journalist complain about like they don't have the plushest stuff. The truth is, we still have access to this room, and, like a lot of access. But I actually have a story coming out either tonight or tomorrow in the New York Times about what the creators have been able to do this week. And there was a woman I talked to who went to the Republican convention as a journalist, like I am, credentialed like a journalist.
Yeah.
And then she came here credentialed as a creator. And she's like, it's just like the same but better. It's like
it is.
It's leveled up from what the journalists could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, I have a lot of friends who are journalists, and I was talking to them about because I've never been to a convention. I was like, what should I do? And they were like, oh, we got to get you press credentials. Like, we got to get you press credentials, and I think I really lucked out by getting the influencer credentials instead of press credentials because, like, I was thinking about it. If I went through the press route, I think that they would be even less, like, understanding of what I do. Because, like, the press liaison, like, if it's, I don't know, Ryan Grimm advocating on my behalf from Drop Site News, formerly The Intercept, like, that's one thing, but that's going to be difficult for like the press person to like comprehend exactly what I'm doing. They're going to put me down in the pit all the way at the furthest corner. I'm not even going to get like the Epoch Times area. You know what I mean?
Right, you're in that kind of dank corner of the building.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
One's there. It's kind of dead.
And I think that like me coming in as an influencer actually helped me get like better access than I would ever get as press, because this is like, I mean, CNN's right there, you know?
Yep.
Like, they're right there. It's crazy.
Look how close you are to the stage right now.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, I'm on top of it.
And like, you would be either in the media row in like the dark, or you'd be like off, like in a building outside. Not only that, but you would, like, media outlets have to pay to be here instead of being invited to be here. We got to pay. Everything is like pay to play. And the liaisons are not holding your hands, right? Whereas for the creators, you got like these lounges. I don't know if you're going to them or not, but you could go in them.
I don't really care about that. Yeah, I'm here to work. Yeah. Like, I'm not. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm a little bit different than like the normal influencer that would attend this sort of thing, because it's like, oh, it's fun. This is like a convention, you know. They get to eat some food and like maybe shoot some TikToks. And no disrespect, like that's great, right? Some of these guys are wonderful, but like I'm here, I'm fucking locked in. This is like what I would be doing anyway. I would be doing this from my house. I'm here to do commentary, you know?
Right. Yeah, but they also have a different expectation of what you might do. I think those TikTok guys or whatever, they want them to be like really pumped up. They want them to like put on the jersey of the Democratic Party and like pound their chest, right? Like, and I don't think they can expect you to do that.
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't expect me to do that. But I don't know if they expect them to do that. I think some of them are genuinely just like really into the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
it might be for cynical reasons, right? Like they might want to be, like they might want to fill a space and become like a certain type of content creator that like is always doing like pro-Democratic Party stuff. And then some people might just genuinely be invested in the brat memes, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's right. And I don't know, and like the medium is the message. That's like it's an overused cliche, but there's so many people who create content who become they morph into whatever space they fill, right? In a way that they can't really perceive. They just become that.
Yeah,
that's pretty common.
I think I really lucked in. I really lucked out in the way that like this is what I love. This is what I love to do, and it just happened to work really well. And I would have never expected it to work this well, but it did. And now I'm here, which is crazy.
What do you know? So I want to ask about the political thing, because after Aiden Ross did that thing with Trump, I saw that Hasanabi did that thing where he was like, the Secret Service called me over now, why did they leave me? Do you know any of the backstory, what really happened there?
I don't. I'm willing to bet. If I were to give you a lead, I would say I would talk to like maybe some of the marketing, like not the DNC, but the marketing agency. I suspect that this is complete suspicion. I have no information, but I would say like my speculation at the time, I talked about it on stream as well, was that it was probably someone from like either the DNC side on the marketing side that like wanted to kickstart that process potentially, right, with him. And obviously you need to get Secret Service credentials for that, because you can't just be around like a politician as a random influencer.
I don't know for like a congressman, but for a vice president.
Oh yeah, for a vice. Yeah, exactly. Or a former president.
Right. Or a former
right.
president.
So I think that was probably what was going on, and he was like confused about it. Like I don't think he meant any like malice.
He seemed
at all.
upset, right?
I mean, he was just hyping it up a little bit. You know what I mean? He's an entertainer.
Right.
Like he wasn't actually crying or like slamming the desk.
But he was maybe it's just his shtick. He was making noise about it. Maybe it's just how he is.
Yeah. He was just like, oh, I don't know what's going on, chat. Like this is crazy. You know, that's just. He was being a content creator.
Do you think he would ever do that kind of thing, or do you think he's just really like not interested in doing political stuff at all?
I don't know. At the time, I thought Kamala, I don't think is a good person to do that with. If I was working for the Democratic Party, I'd link him up with Obama.
You'd get Obama on Hasanabi. Yeah.
100%. It's perfect.
Because of his vibe, the way he could.
His vibes, the way he carries himself. He's endlessly charismatic. He's incredibly telegenic. And he's Obama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not like, and also he is he at that point he could be a surrogate for the campaign, but he's not the campaign.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then it removes like one layer of like immediacy to the exact political calculation that's occurring in front of people's eyes, right?
It maybe lowers the risk too, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't really put his foot in his mouth very much. Right? He doesn't really put his foot in his mouth very often, but if he did, the stakes aren't that high, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If Kamala says something wrong,
then it's like national news.
Crisis, right?
Republicans will use that against them, against her. Whereas they can't really do that. They can't use Obama statements against Kamala Harris, even if he's a surrogate. Like there's a separation there. Yeah.
That makes sense. This is a non sequitur. Tell me about the Zyn. I know a lot of people love the Zyn.
Yeah, I used to smoke, and nicotine gum caused me to. Like it allowed me to quit smoking.
Yeah.
And I really like the Zyns. It's just pure nicotine. I just swapped it to Zyn now instead of nicotine gum.
Is that cheaper than nicotine gum?
No.
It's more expensive.
They're so fucking expensive.
Really?
Yeah. Especially in California.
I got a friend who's a nicotine gum addict. I'm wondering if I should.
I am
push
too.
her on.
I am too. But then she's gonna be a Zyn addict. She's gonna be a Zinfidel.
Isn't
Osama Bin Laden?
I feel like the Zyn isn't like Tucker Carlson a big Zyn guy?
He is, yeah.
Like is Zyn sort of like right identified as a branding thing?
I don't care about that sort of thing. I just like people try to do that, but it's like nah. It's nicotine, man. I like nicotine. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like a.
I mean, it's definitely better than smoking, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I don't think it's like necessarily like a right-wing thing. I think everybody likes alcohol. Everybody likes nicotine. Everybody has their vices, you know?
I guess it could be worse.
Let me tell you what I don't like. fucking Pepsi.
What are you doing drinking Pepsi?
It's just I need caffeine, and they don't have Diet Coke here.
I could have brought you some. I would have known. I would have brought you.
Oh, you guys have it at the New York Times?
Yeah, we got some Diet
Damn, you guys are.
We got a fridge full of Diet Coke.
You guys are riding hot. See, I don't get that. I don't get the 5-star treatment. The DNC is.
That's the
DNC stars.
Lounge. They don't have no.
No, they don't have Diet. They only have Diet Pepsi at the Creators Lounge.
What?
Maybe Pepsi Zero, which is significantly better, but
maybe is the DNC sponsored by Pepsi? It sounds like.
No, I think it's. I was doing a little bit of investigative reporting, and by that I mean I went to a restaurant and asked the waiter, who speculated that Chicago was like a Pepsi town, and I think like they give you Pepsi for free, like to restaurants for free, but you have to pay for Coke. So like in order to improve their profit margins, they just only serve Pepsi.
Well, there's a famous Saturday Night Live bit from the 70s about this like burger shop here in Chicago, and that Pepsi's part of the joke. If you ever look it up, like Google, like
oh really?
YouTube it, it's got with John Belushi in it and some other people, and it's like cheeseburger.
So it's
Pepsi.
been a thing.
It's been a thing since the 70s.
Oh wow!
It's a pretty funny bit because they like come in and no matter what you order, the only thing you can get is a cheeseburger and a Pepsi. Like,
yeah.
You'd be like, I want a tuna sandwich, and they're like, cheeseburger, and you're like, and a Coke, Pepsi.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Now we're arriving at the conspiracy. We're digging deeper.
Chicago's got a weird Pepsi thing. It's true.
Sucks. But I'm fucking getting used to it now. I feel like
you could be like the DNC ruined me on Diet Coke. Forever.
Yeah. No protein. That's another problem. Not enough protein at all. But it is what it is. Do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good.
This is good. All right. How did you like the interactive experience?
It's hard to learn to not look at that stuff scrolling up all the time. Do you ever look at it?
Always. I'm always.
No, are you able to read it? It's like going so fast.
I pause it. I'm always scanning the chat. Even when we were talking, I was scanning chat. They were misbehaving. They were definitely misbehaving. They were being annoying as fuck. They were just like bringing up. It's not relevant. It's fine. Right now they're showing you love, and they're saying they got caught. See?
I mean, I can take it. I've heard so many bad things. It's good, but
about the New York Times.
In general, journalists just get like a lot of.
Well, yeah. So. Sorry, I probably contribute to it.
It's like
no.
I mean, I've covered a lot of right-wing media stuff, and I've gotten like unbelievable things. So, you know.
Me too.
I'm sure. My DMs will be just horrendous sometimes. Like,
yeah.
And I think you get used to it. It doesn't really bother you after a while.
No, it's same.
It's kind of like it actually turns out it's pretty hard for people to find something that I'm shocked by. Sometimes it happens, but most people aren't creative enough to really. I'm not encouraging, by the way.
Let me see. I don't know. I haven't. Or you're in the group chats as well.
Our kids and our communities will thrive.
We haven't. I haven't gotten any response from them. I don't know. But yeah, we're that's the only downside, like I said, of like doing this here with the DNC is that like we don't have an allotted space, so like we have to move. Like today they told me I was gonna have this space, this balcony, the entire day, right? From 2:30 till till the end of the DNC, and then things changed, and randomly they were like, "You got to be out of here." We were supposed to be out of here, so I'm gonna have to pack all this up, swap over to my roaming camera. We're gonna have to stash the bag somewhere, like the remote desktop setup that goes into that bag, and then we're gonna try to see if we can be relocated to a different place. And if we can't, I'm probably gonna have to cancel my interviews that I have with Ilhan Omar and Sean Fain, and potentially go back to my hotel and stream from my hotel, because I want to live react and offer commentary to the events that are going on tonight. It's like the last night. I don't care to be here. You know what I mean? It's cool. I love that, I get this access. I get to show everything. If I didn't have this level of access, I wouldn't be able to just like roll up to the uncommitted delegates, and talk to them, and offer that kind of coverage. But overall, I care infinitely more about doing commentary than I do about having access.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't need that, right? So where would they put you? Upstairs somewhere or what?
We don't know. I haven't gotten word from them yet. I don't know what's going on. They're working on it. It's hard. This is like there's a lot of movement.
Who's coming in here? Do you know?
I have no idea. They didn't give us.
They didn't tell you.
They didn't tell us at all. They were like, you need to get the fuck out.
And AOC, you haven't heard from her?
I'm gonna text her team in a second, but no, she's supposed to be coming in 15 minutes.
Okay.
The problem is like we have to leave here by 6. Are we supposed to leave by 6:30? Okay, so we have to like start breaking down now anyway.
6:16.
Yeah. It's okay. Can you swap it? All right. So
can you swap without breaking the stream?
Yeah. So the stream is being beamed to this server. So what we're gonna do now is basically break all this stuff down. And swap it to that camera over there. He's gonna have to take the lens out of this one and put it onto that one. And then we're gonna, fingers crossed, try to find a place that we can relocate to. Did we get a new place to relocate to or no? Okay, all right. Because like if it doesn't work, if we can't relocate to a different place, like for my remote setup, when the speeches are happening, I'm just gonna leave.
And just go back to your hotel?
Yeah.
Couldn't you do it like outside, like on the street?
No, I need Ethernet. I need internet.
By the way, isn't the internet horrible in here? Oh, you have a wire connection.
I have a wired connection.
But the mobile's gonna be bad because the internet's terrible.
No. That is the same exact setup that like professional news teams use.
Okay.
Like that's literally the same exact. That's a 4 modem setup. News teams use a TVU setup, and that is a 6 modem setup.
Got it.
All right.
They're really bringing it.
Yeah, I know.
Out here vibe.
We're doing it right now. We're setting it up right now. Yeah,
those are the heavies.
Yeah, I know.
Damn, this guy's good.